Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming to do a book review, and I am reviewing An Easy Death by Charlaine Harris. If you are not familiar with Charlaine Harris, or her name looks a little familiar, she is the author of the Sookie Stackhouse series, which was turned into the HBO series True Blood. I read the Sookie Stackhouse series in its entirety, and it started off well and ended in hell. This is a brand new series by Harris. And so when I heard that it was coming out, I did want to give it a try, so it became available at my library, and it's actually due back tomorrow because it's a new book, so I only had it for 2 weeks. So I finished reading this during Dewey's 24-hour readathon. It follows the story of Lisbeth Rose, also known as Gunny Rose, who is a gun for hire. I'm not quite... Okay, so let's go ahead and start the review because this is part of an issue with the story. It does take place in like an alternate Texas after the Alamo, where Mexico and Texas are separate. I'm not 100% sure. That's the best way to put that. That's an issue, considering I read the whole book. And there's also the appearance or the presence of the Romanov family. The Romanovs are still alive during this time frame, and they have, in their fleeing of Russia, they have settled in the U.S., and they have certain areas in the U.S. where they are living, and one of those areas is not far from the area where Lisbeth Rose lives. So she is hired by a team of 2 Gregories, which are what the magical people in this world are referred to as descendants of Grigory Rasputin. So yeah, there's all of this that goes into, why is my arm itching, into this story, and it seems like a lot as I'm explaining it, but it's really not. The biggest issues that I have with this as far as world building goes is, one, I'm not 100% sure where or in history this is supposed to be set, but there are cars if you can afford to get a car, and then there's still horse and buggy travel as well. It's weird. Issues with the world building. Introduction or giving acronyms for something that has not already been explained. That I have a big issue with that, period, because the purpose of using an acronym is to shorten the reference to something that you've already explained. So to tell me that somewhere something is based in the HRE and you haven't told me what the HRE is, fail. Then there's also the issue of, like, there's one character or one person they come into contact with in this story, and it's stated that they don't know his name, and then in the next paragraph somebody's holding this person's rifle, but they give the person's name, and then in the next paragraph they say they don't know his name, and in the next paragraph after that they get his identification out of his pocket, but you already gave his name. Even in the midst of you saying you didn't know his name, you gave his name. A little inconsistent. There's another issue of an event that takes place concerning a particular person that's in relationship to Gunny Rose, and we're not told at any point who this person is. And then again, all of a sudden, this person's name is given, and it's this big to-do that takes place in the course of the story. And myself as the reader, I'm looking like, why are you so mad? Like, there's nothing given that says this is who this person is, or this is who we should expect this person to be. And I even turned back in the book when I got to that part, because I was like, did I miss it? And no, I didn't miss it. Nothing was given to get me to that point. Those issues taken into account with everything else in the story, I still am surprised how much I enjoyed this book. I am intrigued for what is going to happen for the rest of this series. So I'm going to give it 4 books. I am going to commit to give this series 4 books and pray that it does not go along the same lines as the Sookie Stackhouse series. This does not have the issue that the Sookie Stackhouse series had with the constant abuse of Sookie and her just staying under the wing of all of these vampires and staying in relationship with all of these vampires who really don't give a fuck whether or not she gets hurt or not. Gunny Rose is her own woman and is a strong woman and is about protecting herself as well as protecting her charges, those who have hired her. So I am really interested to see where this goes, and there are so many things that we learn about Gunny Rose that she is learning about herself as she goes through this one story, and so I'm interested to see how the rest of that will go. Yeah, that's all that I have to say about that. I am going to go. If you end up reading this, let me know what your thoughts are on it, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.